whether I'll have enough time to really get into the nuts and bolts of why, the blockchain is such an exciting opportunity for people, we'll see. But I think it's going to be a good chat, and I look forward to your chat and many others that are going to be taking place there. Yeah, it's exciting. So what's kind of, I know you're obviously working on selling out this entire Mallow collection. So that's MALLOW.art. That's the platform. Look up Brushbound on there. You can find really cool artwork. If you want to collect some really awesome fashion NFTs, this is the way to do it. Phygital fashion, redefining how fashion works on the blockchain. So what's kind of new and exciting for you around the corner, aside from selling out this this collection, which we're rooting for you, and it's really awesome.
Thank you. I'm actually speaking to a lot of accelerator and incubator programs, and I'm also speaking to a lot of co-founders and investors to sort of get that push that I think it needs right now, because I think I wanted to prove that the model works, and it does. So that's the next step that I want, because I really feel like it has a lot of potential, because every person that I've spoken to and explained the entire idea to has been excited by it, even before I actually put out the art and the fashion part of it. Even when I was prepping for it and after prepping it as well, I feel like I've got a really good feedback from everyone, and everyone seems to be very excited about it. And the more conversations you have, I think the more your idea gets refined and you kind of understand, your pitch becomes better, which is something I'm working on these days, and how to pitch to investors and how to pitch to co-founders and see if there's anything that, we can sort of work on together and if they're interested in the idea. But it does, speaking to different people, like I spoke to someone who's not from Web3, so it was a very different pitch, and then I spoke to someone who's from Web3, which was a very different pitch. So it's interesting because you're also trying to sort of understand that what's the end goal for yourself, and where do you see your brand going. So that's what I'm working on right now. Very futuristic, but like getting ahead.
No, that's
slowly.
amazing. I think you got your eyes on the prize, and you're definitely seeing the potential of what your brand is building, but acknowledging that you're one person and you need liquidity, investment to make it happen, so you can hire a team to build it out. And I think, even just the acknowledgement of looking for a co-founder is a very cool angle to take. I think there's a lot of founders who don't want to necessarily maybe humble themselves to acknowledge, like, I could really use a co-founder to help me kind of take this to that next level. So kudos to you for actually having that clarity and being able to kind of focus on exactly what you want to do as far as next steps. When looking at the investor conversation, I think it's always a little tricky in Web3, right? I think, you always have to kind of look past the initial offer and look at, like, what are you really wanting from this? Are you someone I can actually work with, or are you kind of just looking for a quick buck or quick return? Are you going to be genuinely invested, both from an intrinsic perspective, not just a financial perspective, right? So how are you kind of tackling that kind of investor conversation as we wind down here?
I think it's been pretty interesting. I think it's again been like quite a learning curve for me, because I haven't ever done this before. So, it's interesting, the kind of conversations, but I feel like still everyone's been really positive. And I think you have to keep an open mind, because you have an idea, and to you it seems like, this is the right way, or this is to pitch it, or this is the right way to talk about it, and these are your pillars and everything. But every time like a person has a question, it gets you thinking that, am I clear on this? Do I know why I'm doing this and everything? So I think it's very important to sort of have these conversations. And yes, sometimes they're just around like the numbers, sometimes they're around like, the person, because I honestly feel like some friends that I have who have got seed money and they have actually got investors behind their companies mostly talk about the fact that, they're investing in the person. They really want to see how passionate you are about it, how much work you've put into it and everything. So far, whoever I've spoken to, even like some, sort of mediators who kind of get you to meet investors and collaborators and co-founders, like they have all given a good feedback as well, saying that, at least we can see that you're like, this is not just something you're doing and like you're waiting to like sort of sell it out or something like that. You really have put a lot of thought behind it. So fingers crossed it goes somewhere. Awesome. But yeah, it's been interesting.
Yeah, and I think the fact that exactly you have a very clear mission and vision kind of tied to it, behind it, is everything. So congratulations. These art pieces are
Thank you.
amazing. One of one NFTs on mallow.art. Definitely everybody go check out Brushbound on Mallow. Even just for the art, frankly, at one of one pieces at 1.75 Solana. They're beautiful NFTs. But not only do you get this amazing one of one art, but you get an order for any fashion items from Brushbound, including shipping, which is amazing. So I want everyone to check it out. Let us know if you decide to buy anything. We'd love the feedback, and just really congratulations to you, Shreya. I think you're ahead of the pack. You know, you're on the bleeding edge of fashion technology. You've got your dopamine fashion, dopamine dressing. You know, you're spreading the good vibes. It's amazing. So, and I just really love the art. So yeah, congratulations. Any final words before we wrap up here that you want to share?
No, that's pretty much everything I think that I could possibly talk about my new project and myself and my journey so far. And thank you for having me. This is always such a pleasure to be here and talk about everything Web3.
Well, thank you for joining, Shreya, and hopefully maybe we can connect IRL in NYC and get a sit-down interview in person. That could be cool if we have time, but I'm sure we'll both be running around helter-skelter in New York, but we got to take a little bit of time to connect. So looking forward to that, and safe travels from India back to UK, and hope everything's good on your end. Thank you. And to everybody who's watching and listening, we'll be back next week, and until then, we'll catch you in the metaverse. Peace out.